Hello. So this is the much requested, anticipated video about digestive enzymes, their role in the digestive process and absorption of nutrients, and why we have them in the gut health protocol. So I want you to think about the term, you are what you eat. We've been told that forever, and in part it's true because your body has to have the raw materials in order to create the cells for life. However, it's not entirely true. It's not complete because you aren't just what you eat. You are what you eat, digest, and absorb into the body for use, okay? So that means if you eat something and it's never properly digested, properly absorbed into the body, then your body is not benefiting from the things that you ate. It's just going through you. All right. I want you also to think about food as energy in the terms of how does your body receive energy? How does it produce energy? All right. It is produced from our foods. So no food, no energy, which is why when you go for long periods of time, lots of times you'll crash and then your body is like searching for those fast carbs because it needs energy and it needs it right now. Okay, so let's think about what an enzyme does. So if you've ever seen a banana, go from green to yellow to brown spots to rotten and mushy, that is because of enzymes in the banana, which is why, for one reason, bananas are an amazing digestive help to your body, as well as papaya. Papaya is amazing also, but some people will tell you don't eat bananas because they're too sugary, but the truth is bananas are extremely gut healthy and they really help you absorb food. And so we don't want to just cut those out of our lives, right? But that's what enzymes do. They digest food. They break down food. They speed up the process. So without digestive enzymes, and I want you to think about that speed because that's important. Without digestive enzymes, that food will just sit there and rot. It won't break down and digest. It will just sit there undigested. And then particles of that food actually leak through the junctions of our gut, called leaky gut syndrome, and inflame our immune system, inflame our body. And everyone has leaky gut, okay? That's very common. We all have it to a varying degree, okay? There's always going to be a little bit of leak, but our goal is to tighten those junctions up so there isn't inflammation. On the gut side, let's think about this being the wall. We want to decrease the inflammation on the gut side so that undigested food doesn't leak out into the other side. Because what happens when it leaks out into the other side is those particles of undigested food float through our body, and they not only cause inflammation, they cause things like joint pain, brain fog, fatigue, low energy, because now you're not absorbing the energy from that food. It's actually being wasted. All right, so that's what a digestive enzyme does. Now, I want to switch gears here and let's talk about the role of the 3 macronutrients because this becomes important to digestive enzymes a little bit later. But I want you to go back and think about the 3 macronutrients: carbohydrates, protein, and fats. There's a lot of other micronutrients, minerals, vitamins, phytonutrients in plants, things like that you're going to get from your other food. But the 3 big ones, the 3 main categories are carbs, proteins, and fats. And those 3 are where all of your caloric content comes from. It doesn't come from the micronutrients. It doesn't come from the phytonutrients. It comes from carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So let's talk about carbohydrates first and their role in the body. Carbohydrates are the body's main source of energy, the preferred source of energy. When it's running optimally, it is running on carbohydrates because in the absence of carbohydrates, and this is very important, okay? Listen up, this is important. In the absence of carbohydrates, your body will move on to the next macronutrient People think that's fat. They think, oh, if I'm not burning carbs, I'm burning fat. No, you are not, okay? The body's next source of energy is actually protein. So when you don't have enough carbohydrates in your body begins to break down protein for energy. That means that you are losing muscle mass. Muscle drives metabolism. Protein is the king macronutrient. It is needed in the synthesis of every cell of your body, not just your muscles, but your hormones, your neurotransmitters, the blood, your hemoglobin, obviously your blood cells, but every cell of your body, okay? So when you think about that, when you're considering that you're breaking down proteins for energy now, the body is not able then to manufacture the hormones that it needs, thyroid hormones, sex hormones, estrogen, testosterone, insulin. Insulin is a hormone, okay? It is created from protein. So you're not able to absorb the energy from food because now your body has the ability for it to make hormones has been disabled. You're not able to make neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters are like serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, adrenaline. We think about happy hormones, mental health. Did you know that your gut is called the second brain? Part of the reason for that is because it communicates that your microbiome, the digestive bacteria, the digestive yeast, everything that's in your gut that's helping you digest food, communicates to the brain through the vagus nerve, okay? So there's this nerve that runs up and down like a little highway between the brain and the gut, and that's where your neurotransmitters are made here. They affect your brain health, your mental health. But not only that, you actually think with your gut. This is just fascinating to me. Like the gut isn't just this stupid organ, okay? It actually thinks for itself. That's why they call it the second brain. And anytime that you've ever had something traumatic happen or scary happen or excited happen, where do you feel that? You don't feel that in your brain. You feel it in your gut, right? We always say, I have this gut feeling. Listen to your gut. Your gut thinks. It communicates with you, all right? Way off topic there. But back to where we started with this, proteins make the neurotransmitters that affect your brain health and every other cell of your body, all right? So in the absence of protein, once it's gone through the carbohydrates and the protein chain, and now it's gone into the next layer of energy is fats. Well, in order for the body to convert fat to energy, that is a survival mode, okay? You don't want to send your body into a survival mode. That is crisis situation, red flags going up. That is hard on your liver. It's hard on your kidneys. It's hard on the organs of your body. It causes all kinds of nutritional stress. This is why I cannot believe that any medical professional would ever recommend a keto diet to anyone, because the damage that it creates long-term through the body is just mind-blowing and irreversible and freaking scary, all right? I tell you this to tell you, please eat the carbohydrates. The carbohydrates protect, not only do they give you energy, but they also protect your body from breaking down proteins and going into a crisis situation. So those yellows and the purples, and even your vegetables and the greens, because if it's not a fat and it's not a protein, guess what it is? It's a carbohydrate, all right? So that's your vegetables, your fruits, your grains, anything in that yellow category, starchy vegetables, even like in your peas and some of the proteins that are on this plan, like the chickpeas and the peas and the kidney beans and those kinds of things. The carbohydrates from that really help your body protect protein. They protect the king. They protect your ability to create neurotransmitters, hormones, cells, hemoglobin, all of those things. All right. Now, let's think about the order in which your body utilizes food: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, right? Well, guess what? It also digests foods in that order. It digests carbohydrates first because it needs the energy. Okay, so carbohydrates generally are digested fairly quickly and used for energy. The reason I tell you that is because you want to eat your carbohydrates earlier in the day, because that will bring your energy level up and get you more alert and get you through the day with great energy. If you don't eat any carbohydrates in the morning, and I have experienced this the day that I went paddleboarding, it was ugly because I realized that I didn't eat very many carbs in the morning. And then I was depleted, and I had my grandson on a paddleboard, and I was wiped out. It was ugly. So it happens to me sometimes too. It takes focus, eating those carbohydrates, the purples and the yellows, earlier in the day, say before 2 or 4 o'clock. So in the evening time, you're just getting the greens and the greens and the reds and maybe some blues, because the blues are satiating. The blues stick around longer. The blues are fats. They stay in your body longer. They stay in your stomach longer. They will keep you satiated longer overnight. Gotcha? Okay. The next thing that the body digests is proteins. So proteins are digested second. It's also the order the body uses it for energy. And fats are digested last, which is the order that it's used for energy. All this goes back to food. Food is fuel. Food is energy. And fats, not only, I didn't really talk about the role of fats, but the role of fats in your body, and the reason why you need enough fat in your body is because it creates the cellular membrane, the wall around each cell. It also blinds the neurological pathways. The myelin sheath is made from fats, so that becomes very important. Also very important to make sure that your children have enough fat, because we want to make sure that that myelin sheath is formed while they're little, so they don't have neurological damage or problems later. It also, so it's going to protect our mental health, right? Because it's protecting neural pathways. It also protects our digestive tract, because our digestive tract needs lubrication. It needs to be moist. My daughter hates that word, so I laugh every time I say it, but it does. It needs to be lubricated like grease, right? It should not be dry in there. And that's part of the reason that we end up with gallbladder problems, because we've been drilled that we want this low-fat diet. It kills me, because people will buy low-fat milk and then they'll eat the cheese. It's like, what do you think cheese is? Cheese is made for the fat off of the milk. It's the cream. Anyway, I digress. It cracks me up. So that's how we break down foods. Okay, why are digestive enzymes important in all of this? Well, our foods, particularly your carbohydrates, even proteins, the enzyme that is needed to break down those foods was naturally occurring in these foods. So an apple would come with the amylase that was needed to break down an apple. A mango came with the enzymes that was needed to break down the mango. The proteins came with protease, right? And to be honest, protein is the hardest thing for your body to digest. So digestive enzymes are extremely important if you're going to eat a heavy protein meal. Like we ate steak the other night. Somebody mentioned to me that they can't eat a lot of red meats. They can't eat a lot of meat at one time, and they end up with meat sweats. Digestive enzymes might help with that, because what digestive enzymes do is they're a catalyst to that digestive process. So we talk about a fire. You have to have heat and acid to digest food. Okay, I'm going to veer away from this really quickly, because I touched on a subject right there that a lot of people, their heads went boom, right? Because we have been told lots of times that we have GERDs, we have gastric reflux, we have ulcerations, we have all of these things because the acid in our stomach is too high. That is physiologically impossible. It is impossible for the stomach acid to be too high, okay? But it is very possible for you to not be making enough hydrochloric acid for the stomach to be acidic enough to digest the food. So if it's not digesting the food, if it's not acidic enough and it's not digesting the food is laying there undigested and pushes back up through the sphincter. So we give people things like omeprazole, Protonix, pantoprazole, Nexium, proton pump inhibitors is the category that those fall into, and we decrease the body's ability to release hydrochloric acid into the stomach, and we decrease the acid. Well, now you're not experiencing the pain of the reflux because the acidity level is so low, but that doesn't mean that we cured the reflux. It's still there. In fact, it's worse. And proton pump inhibitors potentiate strokes. The risk factor for strokes go up with each dosage of proton pump inhibitors, and the worst one is Nexium. 78% more likely to suffer a stroke if you're taking Nexium. So I digress. Don't take a proton pump inhibitor, okay? I might have crossed a line there as a medical professional, but I feel that strongly about it. And there's not very many medications that I will tell you not to take. I will tell you not to take statins and not to take proton pump inhibitors, because what we actually want to do is increase the acidity of that stomach, allow the hydrochloric acid to be produced so that our stomachs become so acidic that the food is digested quickly and is absorbed and passes into the body for use. That's what should happen. Enzymes help with that process. Enzymes go ahead of the food and they signal the pancreas to release their enzymes. It signals the stomach, hey, heads up, food is coming. Send in the hydrochloric acid because we're going to need it. Here comes the carbohydrates, here comes the protein, here comes the fats. So we've got three different kinds three different classes of digestive enzymes. Amylase breaks down carbohydrates, lipase breaks down fats, protease breaks down proteins. So interestingly, your saliva has amylase and lipase in it. So if you will chew your food, you will speed up the process of digestion because now you're digesting carbohydrates and fats in your mouth. It doesn't have protease, which is why protein takes a little bit more to digest, because the process doesn't start here, it starts here in the stomach. So taking digestive enzymes ahead of each meal signals the stomach, hey, bring in the hydrochloric acid so we can digest this food so it can be absorbed. Because when it's not digested, it sits there like a dump, all right? Think about rotting, decaying things in a dump. That's what's happening inside your stomach when you don't have the proper enzymes and you don't have the proper acid to break the food down. All right? So that's why we're taking digestive enzymes, because they're a catalyst. They speed up the process of digestion so the food can be absorbed, so that the body can bring those nutrients into the cells and use them in the way that they were meant to be used. Also why we're eating a balanced diet, because remember I went back to why you need carbs, proteins, and fats. You don't want to just eliminate one or bring one way down. You want those in a balanced form, which is what the Gut Health Protocol does. It's what the Portion Fix does. It's what To Be Mindset was designed to do, but a lot of people misuse the To Be Mindset. I'm putting that out there, okay? If you would truly follow the Plate It model, you would be getting your carbs. But a lot of people don't. They don't. And then they also tell me, oh, I'm following To Be Mindset, but I hate vegetables. It's like, then you cannot be doing To Be Mindset, because To Be Mindset is water, fish, veggies most. All right, so it's impossible. You have to be eating vegetables if you're doing To Be Mindset. Anyway, but especially the Portion Fix and the Gut Health Protocol are they have this overriding container plan. I can't think what you would call it, right? Like it has this boundaries of how much you eat of each thing, and that allows your body to be fed properly. Now we came out with the Gut Health Protocol and we incorporated digestive enzymes, and that has helped so many people heal. It's decreased inflammation. Those digestive enzymes, okay, they've allowed your body to decrease inflammation. They've allowed your body to absorb the nutrients, so now you have more energy. They've allowed your body to create the neurotransmitters, so now you're happier and you have better mental health. You don't have the joint pain and the fatigue because you don't have the undigested food floating through your body. So, yes, the digestive enzymes are important. They're very important. Now, on this plan in particular, there is also a probiotic that is added. I'm out on a probiotic, all right? If you take it, fine. If you don't take it, fine. the thing is, people equate gut health to taking a probiotic when it's so much more. It's so much more about the variety of foods that we eat, because if you are getting at least 30 to 40 plants in a week, then you're getting a variety of the bacteria and that comes with them, the live bacteria that's actually present in that food. So you're actually building your microbiome, as well as having prebiotics like in the banana that are fueling the healthy digestive bacteria that we want there. I want to get out of your mind that bacteria is bad. All right. Media has told us for the last couple of years that bacteria is horrible. We have to sanitize everything. Well, sanitation, think about the word sanitize. Sanitize means nothing is living. What's the other word for that? Dead. Sanitized means dead. Not a way we want to describe the inside of our gut. Okay? We want those digestive bacteria there. We want them healthy. We want them thriving because they help us digest food. So they're good things, all right? Yes, there are pathogenic bacteria, but if your microbiome is healthy, a healthy, flourishing garden of digestive bacteria, the weeds don't have a place to grow. The pathogenic bacteria doesn't have the fuel that it needs to thrive because the other ones, the healthy ones, are using up all of that. I wanted to address the immune system very quickly, all right? Because when we have undigested food in our gut, because one, our stomach acid is too low, and two, we don't have the enzymes present that we need. So you have undigested food sitting in our gut. Your immune system lies just on the other side of your gut. So your intestinal wall is only one cell thick. And on the other side of that wall, that very tiny thin wall that ends up with these junctions splitting in and out, right, is your lymphatic system. And your lymphatic system is your immune system. So when this undigested food leaks out into the immune system recognizes that as an intruder, and it launches an attack. And we have been told that that is an autoimmune response, that your body is attacking itself. It is not attacking itself, it's attacking the proteins that are leaking through your gut. So if we heal the gut, we heal the autoimmune response, all right? Oh man, just lost my train of thought because I'm oh my gosh. And then also we are depleting our immune system ability to fight intruders. All right. So our immune system is actually depleted, and we're opening ourselves up to more viruses, more mutant cells. Mutant cells mean cancers. This is scary stuff. It's serious stuff, because our bodies need that food digested and absorbed and utilized in the cells, not leaking out into the immune system, causing havoc. So I know people in here are like, I just want to lose weight. I'm about so much more than that. I will rejoice with you when you lose 10 pounds. I rejoice with my husband when he lost 15. I'm so thrilled for him. The things that he can do now that he couldn't do even 2 months ago, literally once makes me want to cry. Like, he goes out and runs, and it's like, amazing, I have my husband back. Those things make me happy. Those things bring me joy, and that's what I want for you so much, all right? So follow the meal plan, follow the foods that you're removing, follow the reintroduction process very closely. Don't just throw those foods back in, because you'll never know, you'll never have the information. One food at a time, 3 days apart. So you can monitor for symptoms and see if there is something that your body is particularly angry with, right? Like, my body hates gluten. It hates gluten. Like, I can generally handle dairy to some extent, corn to some extent a little bit, but gluten, it's bad for me. It's just bad. And the reason why is because those gluten molecules have leaked through my leaky gut into the immune system, and now the immune system recognizes that gluten as an intruder. So when it sees gluten come back in, it's like, ooh, red alert, and it causes inflammation. Eventually, I hope that my body will be able to tolerate that, but I have to remove it for a long period of time before it can. The digestive enzymes that come with the gut health protocol, I'm hoping that these come back in stock very quickly. I get them because I set my original order up as a recurring order. So because I got in like in the first 24 hours and set my order up, I get the optimized gut protocol digestive enzymes. But for you, you're just going to have to find something until these come back into stock. You're going to have to find something over the counter that has amylase lipase protease in it. But the reason that I like this is it also has papain, which is an active ingredient in papaya, which helps with the digestive process. It has some other things that I actually don't know what amla powder does. I would have to look that up, but I do know what papain does. And then it has camu camu in it. And camu camu is a fruit that has 100 times more vitamin C than the same caloric content of an orange. All right, so 100 times the amount of vitamin C. So what this product does is it not only helps you digest food because it has digestive enzymes, but it also gives your immune system a little bit of oomph. That's why I like this one the best. So I think this is coming back in June. Cannot wait for it to get back in because I feel for all of you that have to go out and find one. And I don't have a lot of recommendations for what one is good and what one is bad because I don't study other people's products. I don't study other people's companies. I don't know the integrity of the other companies. And there's so many on the market, it's impossible to regulate. So I have enough on my plate understanding my own product without trying to figure out somebody else's product. And then there's this other piece of me, like, why would I send you to somebody else's product when I know that ours is the best? All right, I hope that helps you understand it a little bit better. I know this has been a long video. I also knew that I was not going to be able to communicate this in a short bit of time. So thank you for listening. I hope you've learned something, and cheers to your health. And I truly do mean that.